This kind of sucks. There's a ton of traffic today. So today we'll talk about traffic. More specifically, we will talk about the concept of volume versus capacity, rooted in the operational business management. Think back to a physical factory that produces things. How do you get things through your factory at an optimal rate? It can be applied in many other ways in business, for example, in a phone group. So if you look at a call center business model, you're always going to see peaks and valleys of demand. There are high demand times and there are low demand times. Demand is, of course, the customer calling in, the customer needing to contact the provider. On the provider side, you have the supply side. In this case, the supply is people answering the phones, agents as they are known in the industry. So demand times, high demand times, cyclical generally, either on a daily basis, some peak times in the morning, peak times at lunchtime, peak times in the afternoon. On a seasonal basis, let's say tax season in the financial industry, for example, maybe demand is driven by something unexpected. Maybe something happens in the industry. Maybe a new product hits the market that causes a lot of excitement. Maybe something bad happens. Maybe something breaks. Some technology goes bad, right? There's so many different things that can cause volume spikes or demand spikes. The trick is to be able to make as many opportunities as possible to be flexible with your supply. Now look, you're never going to be able to staff for your greatest peak. If you do, you're probably spending too much money. You also don't want to have people sitting idle. That's time that you can be using for productive activities. Now, the first thing that I think of when I have time sitting idle for people is what can I do to develop them, right? What type of training is out there to make them better at their job so they can perform better? And I love when downtime can be used to attack problems that are real problems. They're not problems that were drummed up specifically to aim some capacity at, but real problems, but they're attacked in a way that allows these people who do have the capacity to throw themselves at it with their heart, right? Give them the opportunity to creatively solve problems. A couple other ways that the whole concept of traffic and supply versus demand that you see every day in life be literal. Traffic, right? Same exact idea. Try to get onto the Schuylkill at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, and you're sitting there where essentially 4 different major highways all come together that have between them something like 16 lanes, and everybody's getting into a 2-lane highway. So, that's a bottleneck in the process. That's actually there's 2 problems going on there. But if you do it when every single person is trying to get into the city, that's a timing problem, which becomes just a story of you're trying to hit minimum supply at a time when demand is very high. So what happens? You get in line. Just like when the iPhone, the very first iPhone release, remember that? Remember how people were camping out and stuff like that? Nobody has to do that anymore because obviously Apple doesn't have any problems meeting the demand needs with supply. IT infrastructure. Sometimes your Wi-Fi is running slow, maybe because a bunch of other people are uploading or downloading at the same time as you. Where everybody's watching Game of Thrones on HBO Go at the same time. So this is all situations in which either something is broken, which takes some supply out of the system. On the other hand, everything might be working fine, but customer demand is very high for some reason at that time. So that's how driving on the highway during rush hour, calling your credit card right after they had a data breach, or trying to buy Pearl Jam tickets as soon as they become available, all have the same dynamics behind them. Peace out.